Hi, welcome to a 25-minute recovery yoga flow. My name is Kaylee. You don't really need any equipment for this practice. Just set up in a place that you feel comfortable and meet me in a seat when you're ready. You can take a moment once you land in your seat to kind of tune into the space. So we'll use our sensory awareness to anchor into the moment. Now, a lot of the time with yoga, there's like this instruction to immediately close the eyes. If that feels great to you, go for it. Otherwise, you can join me in just slowly scanning your environment. So take in the colors, the light, the different objects in your space. See if you can truly scan from a place where you're just observing and not judging. So for instance, I'm in a room that's not quite fully organized or set up, and there's a part of me that's looking, right past the screen at a lot of kind of clutter and mess, and I'm just going to take in those objects in my space. After you've done a good scan of your space, soften your eyes or close your gaze down. And shift your awareness to your sense of sound. Notice any sounds that you can hear nearby or in the distance. So you can settle back just a little bit deeper. You might be hearing some click clacks. I've got a fur kid in the room with me, finding her own comfortable space to settle. And then we'll move a little bit more awareness deeper into the body through the breath. So just notice your natural breathing, taking a little bit of a longer check-in for this practice. Notice where you feel the breath moving, where in your body maybe the breath has a harder time flowing. And then again, really coming from a place of observing and being curious instead of a place of being more judgmental or attached to something different happening. Just soften around whatever your present moment experience happens to be. We'll invite a little bit deeper breath here. Let your next inhale fill your belly. Let it roll up through the sides of the ribs and fill the chest, maybe even the collarbones or the throat lifts. Slow exhale through the nose or the mouth. The shoulders relax at the end. So 2 more deep breaths here. Breath in, let the belly fill. Chest expands, maybe the collarbones or the throat lifts. Long exhale, relax the throat and the shoulders. Let the ribs recoil and the belly soften. Once more, breathe in, fill the belly, fill the chest, all the way up to the tippy top. Long breath out. Blink your eyes open if they were closed. And if you've got your legs like me, go ahead and switch the crisscross of the ankles. Might feel a little bit funky. You might notice a different range of motion. That's fine. All right, bring your hands to your kneecaps around your spine. Coming into like a cat back here. You could tuck the tailbone, hug your navel in gently, tip the chin toward the chest. And then we're going to come into a cow back, as you lift the chest. Bend your elbows, bring your chin up, opening through your heart. Round your back, kind of dive into the knees, tuck your chin toward your chest. This time, as you find your cow back, rotate to the right. Just a little twist to the right, not necessarily the biggest range of motion. Back to that cat back, dive through the middle. And then open to cow, other side. Couple more, moving with your breath, exhaling into that forward fold and inhaling into that rotation and that extension. And if you get the breath different or you do the opposite of me and that feels really great, stick with it. We're really the biggest thing with the breath is just trying to be aware of that flow of energy, that flow of prana. You find a little bit more smoothness to the spine. Notice those pockets where maybe it feels a little clicky or a little stiff. Not forcing anything, perhaps slowing down your movement a little bit. Smoothing out any of those rough edges. Take it one more time to each direction. Zero rush, really taking your time with it. And then work your way to your hands and your knees. Find a tabletop position here. With your shoulders over your wrists and your knees over your hips, just draw some body circles, just moving the body around as you feel the weight shift around into your fingers, the heels of the hands. Switch the direction of the circles that you're making. Find some space in your lower back, so not dumping into the lower back right now. Maybe some gentle abdominal engagement. Come through the center. Stay active in your low back, but find your real cow stretch here. Bend your elbows a bit, pull your heart through your shoulder points as you breathe in. And then cat, press the mat away, tuck your chin toward your chest, hug your navel in toward your low back. 2 more times with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Once more. From here, walk your hands a little closer to your knees and then shift your hips back to your heels. Leave a gap of at least a palm's distance between the heel of your hand and the cap of your knee. We're gonna lift the left elbow up. Keep pushing your right hand down into the mat. Hips stay down. So this rotation is just happening through the ribs. Lengthen the crown of the head away from your sternum. Nice deep inhale here. We're going to thread the needle. Keep your hips back toward your heels. It's not going to be the deepest threaded needle ever. Perhaps the left shoulder kind of melts onto your left knee. Left palm can face upward. And stay here. Take one nice long rounded breath. So we're going to move with breath, but slow. On an inhale, you're going to lift up, press the floor away with your right hand. We're going to twist to the left as you bring your left hand to your low back. Stand up on your knees, reach your right arm up. So it's like a half camel with a little rotation. Big breath in. And then bring your hands back in front of your knees, back to that starting position as you exhale. We'll take the other side. So the right elbow comes up. Press your left hand down into the mat. Find some rotation, keep the spine long, big breath in. Threaded needle on this side, maybe you stay high, just feeling that stretch in the outer edge of your right upper back and arm. Take a long breath in. Stay here as you exhale. On the inhale, we lift up and twist to the right, stand on the knees, left arm comes up for that revolved half camel. And then back to your starting position. So breath and motion, slow, long breaths, left elbow, breathe in. Thread the needle just for that breath out. Feel the stretch in the left side body. I'm working really close to the wall, so we work with what we've got. Rise up, twist left as you breathe in, right arm comes up. Back to your starting position as you breathe out. Right elbow, inhale, peel it open. Threaded needle as you exhale. Rise up, rotate to the right, hand to the low back, left arm lifts, big breath in. Back to your starting position on the breath out. One more time each side, left elbow, inhale, open. Threaded needle, exhale all the way into your stretch. Rise up, twist left as you breathe in, stand on the knees, right arm up. Back to starting position, exhale. Right elbow, last side, big breath. Threaded needle, exhale it. Rise, stand on the knees, right hand back, left arm lifts on an inhale. And then this time, find a tabletop position. So hands and knees shift forward so that your shoulders are over your wrists. Tuck your toes under. When you're ready, meet me in downward facing dog. Bending into the knees pretty deeply, either both knees at once or one knee at a time. Take a moment in your down dog, check in with the stretch, usually in the back side of the legs, maybe the sides of the spine. Look right at the center of your mat. So oftentimes we cue to look at the toes or the knees. Look right at the center of your mat, equidistant between your toes and the heels of your hands. See if you can bring your neck in line with the rest of the spine. So neutral through the neck. We're not tucking the chin. We're not extending through the neck to look forward. From here, bend your knees a bunch, lift your heels, and then we're just going to step the right foot between the thumbs. Drop your left knee down. Lift your right arm up and open. So you're in a supported dragonfly twist here. Press your left hand down. Find some space in the spine as you breathe in. And then frame your right foot, bring your right hand down. We're going to straighten the right leg out just until you feel a stretch in the back of the right hip and thigh. You might straighten that leg all the way out. You might have a big bend in the knee. You could shift your hips back to your heels. We're here for 3 long breaths. Option to close your eyes and really dive into the sensations in the back of the right leg. Last nice deep breath here. Maybe you nod the chin toward one shoulder and then the other. Stay as you exhale. Let's walk the hands forward, rebend the front knee, tuck the toes under, press the floor away. We're going to kick all the way to 3-legged dog. So right leg comes up and back, and then bend your right knee externally open through that hip. Push your palms down. If you've got to adjust your stance by walking the hands a little closer to that left leg so you feel stable, do it. Point your right knee up, press your chest towards your left thigh. Feel free to bend your left knee. Breathe in. And then we're going to step both of the feet to the top of the mat for Malasana. So feet nice and wide outside of your pinky fingers. Drop the hips down, turn the toes out. Bring the hands to your heart. Or if you're not quite in Malasana, you can use your hands out in front of you, getting an opening through the hips. If your heels are down, try and anchor through both edges of your feet. So make sure that you're not stickling too much onto the big toe side of the foot. Press through the pinky toe side of the feet. Lengthen through the sides of the neck, soften around your jaw. And I'll hold here for 3 more deep breaths. Maybe you close the eyes or set your focus on one point, 3 to 5 feet in front of you with soft eyes, soft muscles around the eyes. Last long inhale, press the elbows into the knees, press the knees into the elbows and the thumbs to your sternum. And then fold forward as you exhale, drop the hands, lift your hips. And give your head a gentle little shake or a nod as you heel to the feet to a little bit closer distance. We're going to come into a halfway stretch. Slide your hands up the shins, breathe in. And then fold forward, catch your calves as you exhale. Slide your hands up the shins and then keep sliding the hands all the way up. I realize I made my screen a little bit short here. Take one big full body stretch. Reach the arms up, root the feet down, and then hinge at your hips, soften into your knees, back into your forward fold. Halfway stretch, palms against the shins as you find some length in the spine. Breathe in. Plant your hands, step back to the top of the push-up. Option to drop the knees down or keep them lifted, your choice. We're going to lower all the way down, slow and strong through the upper body, and then take 3 cobra roll-ups. Come onto the tops of the feet. Slide the fingers a little bit closer toward the middle ribs and maybe a little further away from your body. Punch your fingers, toenails down, inhale, shoulders can support each other on your spine. Exhale, roll it back down, the forehead taps the mat real gently. 2 more times, breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, inhale here. And then exhale to down dog, tuck your toes, come through hands and knees on the way, find downward facing dog. In down dog, separate your feet to max distance apart, and then walk the feet a little closer together. Push into your hands. Let's take the right hand toward the outside of the left ankle and find a twist. Press your left hand down, feel free to bend into your knees a bit. It's gonna give your pelvis a little bit more space. And then swap out that twist. Reset the right hand, left hand toward the outside of the right ankle. Gently pulling the chest between the arms here as you rotate. Release that twist back into your downward facing dog. Feet a little closer together. Big bend into your knees. Look forward and then left foot. Steps between the thumbs, drop the right knee down, supported dragonfly on this side, here we are. Press the right hand down to find some rotation. And then use your breath to create a little bit more space in the twist, space in the spine. Breathe in. Half split, half Hanumanasana as you frame out that left foot. Stretching back into your left hamstring. And depending on what other activities you do or how your body's feeling today, find a range of motion that's not forced, but that you feel a little sense of lengthening, maybe some sensation that you wouldn't otherwise find in that left leg today. And then drop in for 3 rounds of breath. Option to close the eyes or set your eyes to one spot softly. Stay here, one more long breath. When you're ready, look forward, walk the hands forward, rebend the left knee, tuck the right toes. We're finding 3-legged dog on this side. So left leg lifts up, externally opening through that hip. Push the hands down as you bend into both knees perhaps. Left knee toward the ceiling. And then we're going to step both feet to the top of the mat. Bend your knees, so feet together this time. And then just have a seat onto your butt. Stretch the legs out in front of you for a moment. Bring the hands back behind you. And paddle out like a little tantrum through the back of the legs. All right, Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together. Heels can be real close. They can be pretty far away. But catch the edges of your ankles or the fronts of the ankles. And then give a little tug. So you'll feel as you tug that you can lengthen your spine. Keep the spine long as you hinge forward as much as you can. And then round your spine. And notice any sensation in your face, in your jaw. Is it possible to relax just a fraction more while you're here, letting gravity help lengthen and create some space in the back of the neck? It's oftentimes common to feel some tension at the base of the skull. If it would feel good, you could nod your chin toward one shoulder and toward the other, real slow. You're ready to come out, nice slow dismount as you lift the chest, walk the hands back in, bring the hands to the outsides of the knees as you close the knees together. And from here, we're gonna roll all the way out onto the back with bent knees, hug the knees into your chest. Move around slowly in any way that feels good. So you could circle the knees over your hips. Your feet could be down, you could be windshield wipering the knees. You might come into half happy baby or full happy baby. Eventually, we're going to set up for a little bit of supine breath work. So we'll stay on the back. If you prefer to sit up, that's great. Please do so. You want to find some posture where your spine can feel really nice and long and hopefully supported, either from its own strength and posture or from the ground underneath you. So I'm going to opt for feet underneath knees and then let my knees drop and rest against each other. You could come into Baddha Konasana, or you could straighten your legs out. And bring one hand toward your core and one hand toward your heart. And practice a gentle breath retention. Feel free to come right into Shavasana and just focus on letting your breath move without trying to control it if holding the breath doesn't feel good for you. Empty your lungs completely, maybe purse your lips. And then take a nice long breath in, fill the belly, fill the chest. Sip in as much breath as you comfortably can, and then hold, gently tucking your chin toward your chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your mouth. Let's do that again. Take a breath in, fill the belly, fill the chest. This time hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Once more, long inhale through the nose, filling all the way up. Fill the cylinder of your torso with breath, with prana. And then hold for 7, 3, 2, 1. Let the breath settle into a rhythm that feels natural. If you've got your knees bent with me, you might bring your arms to a goalpost and windshield wiper the knees slowly as you work your way towards Shavasana. Find a space where you can rest comfortably for just a few moments. If you've got extra time today, I'm going to guide a gentle body scan. After that, you might want to shut the recording off so that you can linger here longer. Let your attention come into your bodies. You can think of this body scan almost like taking roll for all the different parts. So much of our days we're pretty disconnected from our physical bodies unless we're exercising, right? And so we'll use this body scan just to check in and give every little part of the body some energy, some attention to clear some of those nerve pathways and reset so that we feel maybe a little bit more alert and aligned. Begin by bringing your awareness to your toes, the right toes and the left toes. Let the awareness crawl up through the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet, the arches of the feet, the heels, up into the ankles, the right ankle and the left ankle, up the lower legs, the fronts of the lower legs and the backs of the lower legs, right side and left side. Moving the awareness into and through the knees, right and left knee, up through the thighs, the right thigh and the left, Letting the awareness continue up through the glutes and the pelvis, and the lower back and the hips. Continuing and letting the awareness travel up the length of the spine and radiate outward to the sides of your waist, into the belly. And letting the awareness continue to wash up through the rib cage, to the heart space. And dropping in through the right shoulder blade and the left shoulder blade. Letting the awareness travel down the length of both of your arms, all the way through to the tips of your fingers on the right hand and the left hand. And letting the awareness continue to work its way up through the sides of the neck and the throat. Up into the face as you bring the awareness into the mouth and relax your lips, your jaw, your tongue. Continuing to let the awareness move up your head and face, relaxing the eyes, softening the brow, letting the awareness ultimately land at the crown of your head. And then stay here for just a few more moments, letting go of any prescribed order and just noticing whatever's arising in your body, any sensations in any part of the body, including just following your breath. When you're ready to move on with your day, take a very slow, gentle nod of the chin from shoulder to shoulder. And start to bring some movement into the ankles and the wrists. Let that movement ripple up from the periphery of the body through the limbs into your trunk. Work your way to either side, pausing there for a moment. Let yourself adjust to that position. And then eventually, from your side, press up to a seat. You can bring your hands to your heart space. Use your hands as a little kind of key or a prompt to lift your chest up toward your palms, to sit up a little bit taller and open your heart space. We'll close with a big cleansing breath here. As you inhale, fill your lungs, let your ribs lift, let your shoulders hunch up into your ears. And on an exhale, let it all go. Thank you for moving around a little bit. I hope that did your body some good, and I hope to see you again real soon. Take care.